Hi YouTubers, I know it's been a while since I've posted anything. I've just basically been taking care of myself and trying to get in tune with myself and be comfortable in my own skin again. And today is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, including mine. I'm going to be spending tonight with my family to celebrate that, and it's also my grandfather's birthday. So we're gonna celebrate that. He's the only grandfather I have left, basically. So it's good that we have him around. But anyway, yeah. So today has been okay. I haven't been as anxious as I usually am, and that's possibly because I've been journaling too. So that helps a lot. And if you watch my last video, you'll kind of understand why I'm feeling the way that I do. Today is okay. The only thing hard about today is I've been tempted to tell my ex Happy Father's Day, but I know that's not a good idea. And I'm proud of myself because I haven't texted him since he said not to anymore. And we haven't spoken directly with one another in like 36 days, 37 days now. So I'm kind of proud of myself for doing that because it's very hard to stay away when everything in my being tells me not to. Because I do realize he is, making unhealthy choices for himself, and I don't need to be a part of the unhealthy choices that he's making. So I've been basically trying to focus on those that actually care about me in my life, and paying attention to them more because I've got a lot of people that have my best interest at heart. And so I'm trying to take their advice and their warnings to heart. And I'm also being honest with myself about how I've been feeling and how I am emotionally. Like, that also, with that territory comes hard decisions. Like, there was somebody that I was communicating with not too long ago that I had to block because I didn't feel like it was fair to be talking to this guy because, I'm still going through things, and, I'm not really ready to open myself up to anybody right now. Like, I'm still trying to be in tune with myself and kind of get back to who I was and what I was doing before the guy that cheated on me came into my life. Part of me wishes that never would have happened because I feel like to some degree he knew the outcome of all of this because he knew his ex longer than he knew me, and he knew how she would handle, breakups. And he knew that she would, do something to come back, whether she knew about me or not. And she knows how to keep him trapped, and I don't need to be a part of that, and it's not healthy. In other news, I've started another puzzle. I did one back in February for Valentine's Day, and it's already framed, and I might show it next year. And then right now I'm working on a SpongeBob puzzle. And I'm also reading a lot of books. There's a guy on the internet called Stefan Speaks, and if you look him up on YouTube and Facebook, he's really good with relationships, and I've read a few of his books. And right now I'm also reading a book that my therapist wrote, and it's really good so far, and it uses a lot of scriptures and relates self-esteem to how we should see it the same way God sees it in us. So I've been kind of diving into that, and I've just been kind of trying to learn to love myself and be okay in my own skin. I'm still going to the gym. In fact, I got to go back this coming week. I'm going to go back because this past week I didn't go. Just stuff going on in my family and everything, and I didn't have the chance to go. And I am going to start up going back to fitness classes again. When COVID hit, the class I was going to quit happening, and I think it's because the place that I was going to do it was, I think they're now restricting people that come in and out of there because of COVID. So, now we're just kind of trying to, all of us as a whole are trying to get back to our normals as best as we can, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do. No contact is not easy when you're the one that has to implement it, and I'm just trying to remember my worth in all of it and realize that every time I would interfere with no contact, I'm just decreasing my value. And, you know, the ball's in his court as far as communication is concerned. And I know it's not healthy to, continue any more communication with him. And so I'm just not, Of course, I won't be stuck up or anything. If he ever reached out to me, I would speak back, but I would also be guarded in that regard just to protect myself, because I don't want him putting me through the same thing again. And I don't deserve it. And, there's a lot of implications that come with him trying to speak to me. But the important thing is he's the one that has to speak to me. Otherwise, it's just an indefinite no contact. I shouldn't be the one to reach out or speak anymore. And like I've said before, if you know me and you're watching this and you have any assumptions over who this has been about, just leave it alone. Don't. And so far, so it's been okay. Like, things haven't changed, in my life. So I think people are listening to that, which is good, because no good comes from trying to stir the pot or get involved if you assume you know who this person is. So, yeah, I do appreciate the respect in my privacy and his. So, that's all we can do at this point, and like I said, I'm focusing more on the people that actually care about me and want to talk to me and want to see me every day and want to see me happy and want to see me succeed, because that's the only thing I can do. I basically rip my stitches out when I don't focus on those people, and I still go after what's tempting to me. We as humans can't help who we're attracted to, who we have feelings for, who we love. But there's just some times where those feelings and that attraction has to be from a distance, and I'm also working with God on that, and I'm praying to him about things and trying to make myself more open to someone else, as I heal, and just trust his plan for my life and trust his timing. I have been improving, and this last connection, even though I was cheated on, I didn't form it in my own strength. It just became one-sided when the direction became unhealthy. So I am going in a positive direction, because in this case, I didn't go seeking it. It sought me. So in other words, he sought me. I didn't go seeking him. A couple of years ago, I had tried to, but got turned down and just kept going and was ready to put that behind me. And then he reawakens it with no intention of keeping it. The important thing is I learned what red flags to look for, in the future. So I will be more guarded, and I will be quick to turn a lot of things down that I didn't used to in the past. And that's partially why I had to block who I was talking to off and on, since this whole thing happened. And that person doesn't deserve somebody that's half there. And I feel right now like I would be half there with another guy. And I want to become whole on my own. That way I can be all the way there with somebody, not just there off and on when I feel like it. So that's another important lesson that I'm trying to learn. And, a lot of my good qualities were also brought out in this whole experience. And that's one thing I'm grateful for, is this person also reiterated to me what I do that's positive and who I am and what my positive qualities are. So that also reminded me that, I didn't do anything wrong in this situation, and not to blame myself. And really nobody should blame themselves when they get cheated on, It's just a poor choice that the other person is making. It's a selfish choice, if you ask me, because they're not taking into consideration your feelings. And you should be with somebody who you matter to them and they matter to you, and it should be equal in terms of, your worth with each other. And if it's not, then that's not the person for you. And I have a hard time taking my own advice half the time. And that's why I'm kind of glad that I'm in like all these support groups on Facebook, because they remind me how I'm not alone in this situation and how common it is beyond among women and men. Like, I'm just noticing in this group like how common my situation is, and I just don't understand why these people are like that, and they lack morals and values these days. And you know, it's perfectly fine to want to move on as a person if you had kids with somebody and you don't feel like a long-term relationship's going to work out with that person and you guys are healthier apart. But don't go entertaining other people if you're on the fence about that, you know? I'm the kind of person that I would never do that, because I'm very empathetic, and I really think things through before I make a decision when it comes to that kind of thing and relationships and stuff. And I'm even more cautious now because of, you know, what happened to me. So, you know, I know a lot of these vlogs have been, you know, about relationships and stuff, but that's really all that's been on my mind lately. You know, I journal a lot when I can, and I've got a journal that is helping me with my mindset. It's a 60-day journal, which I wish it was a longer journal than that, but, you know, after I'm done filling it out, I'll probably go back and read things every day, on like just where I was to where I am now, and see if maybe any growth has taken place. You know, so I'm looking forward to next month. It'll be my birthday, and I'm trying not to hold expectations for that day. All I want to have as an expectation is that I want to still make it a good day, because last year was not a very good year for me. And, you know, I was in depression and dealing with, you know, toxic people and toxic relationships, and it really put a damper on me enjoying that day as my birthday. And this year, I don't want it to be like that, you know. I still want to enjoy the day, regardless if, you know, things happen or don't happen, you know. And personally, I don't know that my ex will remember it's my birthday, so he may not even have the gumption to tell me, but who knows. I'm not going to hold the expectation out to hear anything, you know. I'll probably still hear from people elsewhere, but, you know, I'm going to try not to hold that expectation, and I'm not going to let something like that ruin the birthday, because it's also my dad's birthday. So, you know, I just kind of want to enjoy the day. At least I get the day off of work that day and the day after, so that'll really be helpful for me. Yeah, so, and then I don't get any more time off until our holidays at work and Christmas, because I only have so many days to use. So anyway, yeah, so I don't really know what else to say. I'm trying to get back involved with my church. They're working out serving schedules. I haven't been scheduled yet for anything, but, you know, I'm just kind of letting them decide when to schedule me. You know, I'm trying to get back into that. As much as I'm used to being on a break from church, I know that I need to get back into it, because it's going to be helpful to me. It's going to get me back into, you know, where I was with accepting myself before this guy came in and ruined my progress, you know. You know, I'm definitely going to be more cautious about that kind of thing. And when I let someone in my life, you know, a friend or a romantic partner, because I don't want to lose myself again like I did. You know, it's taken a lot for me just to get here in this mindset, and just to exercise no contact was hard enough. And I can't keep going through this, and I don't want to keep going through it. I don't want to find myself in situations where I don't know who I am anymore, or I lose who I am, you know, because it's hard for me to get back, and it takes a lot of work. And you know, it's easy for me to pretend I'm okay, but sometimes I'm not, and I have my weekdays, and that's why journaling has helped me the most, and it keeps me, you know, from making more mistakes than I already have in terms of this breakup. And, you know, I don't want to go back to losing myself. So that's the important thing in this whole situation, is being very much more selective on who I let in and out of my life. You know, because I don't want to have to go back to this mindset again where I have to work at it again, because this is where I was, you know, the guy before this guy, and I don't want to do this again, you know. And if it means I end up single for the rest of my life, then okay, you know, I'll embrace it, because I would rather be alone than to be with somebody that I lose myself, and by the time I lose myself, they're not there to catch me or remind me who I am. You know, they just want to do backhanded things like cheat on me, you know. So, you know, I still have trust issues to work through on my own. That's another reason why I'm not really entertaining the idea of anybody right now, because it does mess with you when you're cheated on. And this time, there's actual proof that I was, you know. I mean, I made the assumption on the last guy that he cheated on me because he did some things that he shouldn't have done and got on Tinder while he was dating me. But this solidified it because there was proof. And that's what makes it even worse. And it's like, I felt like I didn't matter the night he made the mistake that he did. And I feel like more was going on than I was being told. And, you know, it's very sad that people these days don't get over a person before they move on to someone else. And I know if I had it to go back again, I would have told him that he needs to really think about this and make sure I'm who he wants, because then none of this would have happened and I wouldn't have lost myself in that regard. I would have kept up what I was doing before I officially let him in and let him tear down my walls. So anyway, I'm probably going to sign off because it's now 16 minutes in. You know, I'll post more vlogs soon. I might show you my puzzle when I get it done. But yeah, I am doing a lot better than I was on day one, let me tell you. You know, there's just a lot of stuff that I'm doing for myself, and that helps me the most, you know. And like, I went shopping with my mom yesterday and I bought new makeup and just bought some things that would make me happy for a change, you know. But anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful Father's Day and, you know, a wonderful day. And I will talk with you guys some more soon. But yeah, so this is where I am right now, and this is me, and like it, leave it, love it, I don't know, whatever. So, you know, subscribe and hit like if you would like more content, and I will post soon. So take care, everybody.